Konnichiwa, all of you beautiful people. Today, it is Q&A 23, and let's make this entertaining. Let's answer some questions. But first, leave a like on this comment. Yes, leave a like on your comment. Leave a like on this video, and leave a comment or a question. Just anything, and you will see it in the next Q&A. And let's get on with the Q&A here, and let's get on with the first question. This is by JH, and this is on. Oh my goodness, you're off to a bad start. Okay, here we go. This is on the tube amps for some modelers versus solid state thing, and his video, and he says, I keep trying to like modelers. I've been back and forth trying to get them to work for me, but I always miss the sound and feel of tubes. Also, I like the idea of fewer options. It's less distracting that way. I feel you on that. If I've used a modeler for a very long time, it can be very hard to, you kind of get this longing for a tube amp. You kind of miss the feel. Like, I like modelers, I like solid state, but you don't get that tube feel when it comes to just playing through those things. You get, it's more 2D sounding to me, and not as 3D sounding as the Boogie. I don't know what it is. It's maybe it's the air pushing, or maybe it's just the tubes, the analog, the warmth, all that, all those buzzwords. But to me, when you're just playing a tube amp and you just can feel that power chord going through you, that power chord going through the guitar, it's just the most beautiful distortion, the most beautiful saturated feel alive. And every now and then I have to just crank something out, crank up the amp, and just play a power chord, play some shred as loud as possible, and just really feel it in my bones. And that's what I like about tube amps. You can just feel it in your freaking bones, and it's awesome. And yeah, I feel you on that. And the less options generally are not there. I like having less options. I like having crazy amounts of options, and I like having less options. As paradox as that is, like, that's why I like the Mesa Boogie F100. It's just standard. It's very standard controls. It's got mids, treble, gain, very normie friendly kind of stuff here. It's not like the it's not like the Mesa Boogie Mark V, which has like an entire flight crew of buttons and knobs on it, where you have to sit there and play around with it too much. But this is very friendly to me. And I kind of do the same thing with modelers. I find one model I really like, one setting I really like, and I stick with that. I do it the same way I do with amps and pedals. I find what I like, and I just stick with that, and I tweak it slightly. But I'm not going around using 9,000 different amps. It's fun to go and play around with the amps, especially for making videos, just showing off to people. Like, you like the F100, go for it. Here's a VST of this. You like the 5150, here's a VST of this. Here's you know, here's a car for you, here's a car for you. Oprah Winfrey type of crap right there. But yeah, the tube amp, great feel, great sound, love to play it. And fewer distractions with fewer options is always welcome. I like options, but I also like no options, because sometimes you feel like you just couldn't get enough with the too many options. You know what I mean? You can't really settle. Okay, next one comes from Guitarist Next Door, and this one is on the tube amp video as well, and my phone is playing around with me. He says, to me, a tube amp with a couple pedals sounds the best, but in terms of convenience and price, going with solid state or modeling amps makes more sense for most players. Great video, man. Thank you so much. I love the support. And yeah, tube amps are the best of the best. What can I say? They just sound awesome. They feel great, and they use pedals really well. I think solid state is pretty good at using pedals, especially with just the amount of headroom you get. But you get that more analog warm type of sound with the tube amps, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It is the best of the best, but for convenience, I think if you have the budget and you have the muscles to move a tube amp where you're going, if you're playing live, go for it. Go all out. Use the best of the best if you want to do so. There's a lot of people out there, but for me, I like convenience and I like the best bang for my buck. And I think modelers for recording are amazing, especially for practicing too. And Solid State is just extremely reliable. I think that's, for me, as a non world tour type of guy, a guy that would gig a couple bars now and then, that's my route. Solid State with a tube preamp pedal right here, like the Natty TD1, made famous by Sean Lane. Even though he didn't really use this model, he used the guts inside. This used to be the Westbury, and Natty bought it, and now it's the Natty TD1. And I think this is actually discontinued now too. I don't know where the Westbury guts are going to go next, but I would keep an eye out, because Sean Lane was amazing. His tone was amazing, and just that hybrid setup was great. I think he even used a Solid State as well. I think it was a Holmes amp. He used the Holmes amp and this thing. I'm not too sure. You'd have to look into it. There's a couple websites out there that really explore deep into Sean Lane's tone, and beautiful guitars, beautiful tone. And next question, let's get down to business here. This is by Angus Young. He freaking commented on the channel, and he said, I'm getting a Jackson Rhodes model soon, and I'm thinking of I think I'm going to need one of these, which he's talking about the Whammy DT down here. These, if I don't want to keep down tuning, down tuning, it has a Floyd Rose on it. I can't read sentences, sorry. I completely agree. If you have a Floyd Rose, get the Whammy DT, because Floyd Roses are huge pains in the butt, and that's a huge reason I'm using hardtail nowadays. It's just like even regular trem systems are kind of driving me insane now. But Floyd Roses, oh my God, I spent hours and decades, what felt like decades, setting them up. And yeah, if you got a Floyd Rose and it's not flush mounted, or you haven't hardtailed it or anything like that, it's going to be a pain in the butt to down tune. So I would definitely get the Whammy DT. It has a bit more of an electronic type of down tuning tone to it than you would normally down tuning, but I think it's really convenient and good. I think the amount of electronic digital type of sound you're going to get out of it is so minimal that it's not, that it is worth it. It is worth it. I almost said it's not worth it, but it is worth it, and I love it because, God, I hate freaking down tuning, and it's a pain. And the DT does it all, more or less. And on top of that, if you want to learn a song in a specific key, in a specific tuning, you can just, flip a couple knobs and you're there, instead of completely destroying your guitar, having to recalibrate everything. And you know me, I like low maintenance type of guitars and low maintenance type of stuff. And if you're similar to me, you'll love the Whammy DT, low maintenance. You can just play instead of think about, adjusting things too many times. Okay, next one. This is the last question. This is by the Gill for the Pandora, the Chord Pandora from 2003, whenever it came out. Still good in 2022. I just found mine in the back of a cupboard and plan to get back into using it. Good vid. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Yeah, the Pandora is awesome. The thing I like about it is the jam feature. The jam feature is just extremely easy to use. It's extremely easy to slow down and speed up. I like to do what is called slow improv, where I play slower than I normally would, and being able to just flip it on over to 50% mode and just have a backing track be even slower helps me out a ton. And I think for the modeling, it is a bit dated, but it still sounds pretty good for what it is, especially if you're just using it for practice. I wouldn't use it for recording, but I think it's still solid. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful box. I wish they would come out with something like a new one. Put out 2022, 2023 version of the Pandora. What's cracking, Cord? Get on with it. But that was the last question this week, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like the video. If you want to leave a comment or a question down below, do so, and it will be in one of the Q&As one of these days. And thank you so much, and I will see you next time.